can't take it anymore. Shut up, shut up! It's not too late.
Silent Hill F looks good, and the environments are creepy, sure, but it's the kind of horror that's trying to impress you. You can almost feel the design committee saying, what if we added a cool parry animation here? What if this encounter is more dynamic? The result is a game where I'm too aware I'm playing a game. Total Chaos, in contrast, feels hostile in a way that gets under your skin. That bleak, monotone, almost color-drained world isn't just a backdrop, it's the soul of the game. Total Chaos doesn't try to seduce you with visual variety or gimmicky art direction. It gives you something far more potent. A world that feels exhausted. The world isn't trying to entertain you. It feels like it genuinely wants you gone. The pacing is slow, suffocating, and unpolished in the best way. Where F feels curated, Chaos feels feral. Silent Hill was never meant to feel empowering. When F gives you parries, timed dodges, and flashy feedback, it crosses that line. Instead of fear, I get something closer to spooky action adventure. But Total Chaos, even though it has more combat than classic Silent Hill, it uses it differently. Weapons feel improvised and unreliable. Every encounter is a risk, not a spectacle. You're always low on something: ammo, health, space, sanity. Chaos weapon fights are messy, panicked, and exhausting. In F, fights feel choreographed. The tension in Chaos comes from hearing something but not seeing it, running low on crafted tools, not knowing if the next corridor is progress or a trap. I wanted to talk about one enemy type in particular, the spiders. The spiders in Total Chaos don't scare you logically, they hit you right in the primal fear center of your brain. They move in these rapid, twitchy bursts that feel too real and too fast, skittering across the floor with a disgusting wet scrape that makes your skin crawl. You hear them before you see them, chittering, rattling, and then suddenly going silent, which is somehow even worse because you know they're repositioning, waiting to strike. Their design is grotesque. Jagged limbs, diseased textures, twitching movements that feel unnatural, like the island's rot took the shape of a spider just to torment you. When they lunge, they do it with a starving desperation that overwhelms you instantly. They turn every dark corner into a panic trigger. Every vent becomes a threat. Every shadow feels alive. They don't just scare you, they awaken a primal instinctual terror that tells you to move, run, escape. Now let's talk about the pacing. Total Chaos has a fast pace, but it's not action fast. It's you don't belong here fast. Unlike old Silent Hill, where the experience encourages you to stand still, listen to the void, and drown in the atmosphere, Total Chaos actively pushes you forward. Staying still feels wrong. For all the oppressive atmosphere in that beautifully desolate monotone world, Total Chaos isn't without cracks in its foundation. Some of its flaws are small, some are structural, and some are the limits of an almost solo project showing through the seams. The lack of death animations hurts the immersion. For a horror game so focused on physicality, improvised weapons, brutal close-quarter strikes, enemies breathing down your neck, it's surprising how abrupt death feels. You black out, you reset. No choreography, no transition, no sense of consequence.
Can't beat the view up here.
Sure, but why here? It's a little morbid, isn't it?
You have to look beyond this. Beyond the island. Nothing beats the sunset here.
Why are you going down there? The storage room is your way out. There's nothing in the graveyard worth finding. Only things best left undisturbed.
The story feels like a thin wrapper, not a backbone. Total Chaos nails the environmental storytelling, but its actual story feels more like flavor text than a narrative. There's atmosphere, there's tone, there are fragments of a mystery, but the plot itself feels disconnected, like it's sitting around the gameplay instead of driving it. You're descending, something terrible happened, there are vague hints of experiments or calamity, but it rarely hits the emotional or thematic weight that horror stories need. It's not bad, just underdeveloped. Final verdict? Total Chaos, even with more combat, is genuinely scarier and more effective than Silent Hill F because it preserves vulnerability, atmosphere, and tension. And the fact that it was basically created by one person makes F's shortcomings even harder to ignore. One guy with a vision delivered a horror game that feels scarier than Konami's big budget attempt.